Welcome to Voyager LCAR's menu system. Captain Catherine Janeway. Lieutenant Belana Torres. Crewman Telsia Murphy. Crewman Austin Chang. Lieutenant Les Foster. Crewman Tom Odell. Alfarian hair pasta. Bergamot tea. Coffee, black.
Ensign?
7.
I must commend you on your tactical analysis of our situation earlier. It is rare that I find myself in agreement with other members of the crew in these situations.
Thank you.
Preparations will take some time. I suggest you use the opportunity to relax.
What?
Captain Janeway has encouraged me to allocate a certain percentage of my time to leisure. It is inefficient, but I see the wisdom of the practice for humans.
Whatever.
Alex?
Telsia.
What's the matter?
Security access required. Bergamot tea. Bergamot tea.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Telsia.
Yes, Alex?
Banting.
Neelix.
I'm sorry, Anson. I'm just a little busy right now.
Specify deck desired. Deck 1, Bridge. Deck 2, Mess Hall. Deck 3, Officers' Quarters. Deck 4, Hazard Ops. Deck 5, Sick Bay. Security access required. Security access required. Deck 8, Astrometrics and Cargo Bay. Deck 9, Computer Core. Deck 10, Shuttle Bay. Deck 11, Engineering. Security access required. Security access required. Security access required. Security access required. Deck 1, Bridge.
Hey.
Hey, Alex.
What's wrong with you?
What are you doing?
That's enough!
Captain?
Yes, Ensign.
Captain?
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Ensign, but now is not the time.
Alfarian hair pasta. Prune juice. Bergamot tea. Landrosblend coffee. Prune juice.
Hey,
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Ensign, but now is not the time.
Commander.
If you need to discuss something, you can find me in my office later.
Commander.
Yes, Ensign.
Security access required.
Commander.
Security access
Do you need something?
required.
Harry.
Hey, Alex.
Prune juice. Found on board the Dreadnought gunship, these vessels are fully automated fighters. The offensive weapons built into these craft are very impressive, but what made these machines so deadly was the artificial intelligence. Stored within each fighter is a vast and complex database featuring thousands of years of space warfare strategy. Disnodes are devices used by the Borg as a means of supplying communications to drones within a vessel. Once a drone leaves the vessel, it switches to far-range communications that radically increase the distance of the communication with the collective. Normally well protected and hidden within a Borg vessel, if a Disnode can be destroyed, it will incapacitate any drones linked to it. This mineral is a distant cousin to the dilithium crystals used to power Federation starships. Found on board the Dreadnought gunship, these energy crystals may be used as a power source for several alien weapons. Prolonged exposure to unshielded crystals can be hazardous to living tissue. The energy terminal is used aboard Borg vessels to resupply drones with the power needed to keep functioning when they are unable to use a regeneration alcove. Power stations are rare because they are used only in emergency situations when drones must function for an extended duration. Hazard team suits have been outfitted with equipment that allow the use of power siphoned from a Borg energy terminal. The Forge was a gigantic structure in space that housed the Vorsoth and his army of Reavers, super warriors grown from stolen DNA. It also generated a huge power-dampening field that stranded any starships within 149 million kilometers. The Forge was destroyed by Voyager when the intentions of the Vorsoth were discovered. This device was used by the Vorsoth to grow their ultimate warriors, the Reavers. Once the Reaver is at an adult stage, the chamber acts as a hibernation unit that keeps its occupant in stasis until needed. This is an extremely rare element that has the ability to regulate matter-antimatter reactions in the same fashion as dilithium crystals. Isodesium is not usually used aboard Federation starships because of its rarity and its relatively short lifespan. But the element was of use when it was discovered isodesium could function under the Forge's dampening field when Voyager's dilithium crystals could not. Vastly different from standard starship technology, the spacecraft built by the Etherians is actually a hybrid of inert materials and living tissue. This ship was grown and outfitted in space and feeds off the radiation produced by stars. It is not a sentient creature, but the ship does have a rudimentary intelligence, and the Etherians treat it with a respect that resembles parents caring for a child. This relic of days gone by was discovered on the Scavenger's base. Though a total wreck, the shuttlecraft was still an excellent chance to view technology over 70 years old. A plasma filter is part of the power network of a Borg cube. These devices are placed randomly throughout a ship to filter out plasma frequency deviations. It has been found that plasma filters are explosive if shot with a high-energy beam. More than just suspended animation chambers, these pods also act as medical equipment. A rejuvenation pod is able to scan the occupant's DNA and determine the normal functions of the body. It is then able to determine the best course of medical treatment to correct any damage. A minimal crew runs a Dreadnought gunship, while the rest of the vessel is operated by a large number of maintenance robots. It is assumed on longer missions that the entire crew would be placed into suspended animation in sleep chambers, while the robots continue to operate the ship. Etherian teleporters act similar to dimensional doors and instantly transport an individual from one location on their ship to another. This is vastly superior to current Federation transporter technology, which requires the molecular structure of a body to be broken down and converted into energy for reassembly at a new location. The vinculum is the Borg main processing unit used to connect an entire ship's crew to the Borg collective. It also helps route all communication within the ship. It contains some of the most advanced communication technology ever created. Reports indicate that destruction of a vinculum will result in a power feedback loop that will destroy the host Borg ship. On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union launched the first man-made object that was able to successfully achieve an orbit of Earth. Weighing 184 pounds, it circled the Earth every 96 minutes. This leap in technology began the space race, in which the Soviet Union and the United States of America placed a very high importance on the conquest of space. The culmination of a 238,000-mile journey that took 4 days. The Apollo 11 mission landed on Earth's moon on July 20th, 1969. Flight Commander Neil Armstrong and pilot Buzz Aldrin set down in the Sea of Tranquility in a lunar module named the Eagle. As the first human to ever set foot on the moon, Armstrong spoke the immortal words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The first spacecraft to bear the name of Voyager, this series of probes was launched beginning in the early 1970s. The main intention of the Voyager program was to study Jupiter, Saturn, and bodies on the outskirts of the solar system. In the late 1990s, Voyager 6 was launched and fell into a black hole many years after leaving the solar system. The probe emerged on the other side of the galaxy in the vicinity of a planet of living machines. These machines completely refitted Voyager 6 for a long return trip, making it unrecognizable to its original creators. En route to Earth, the probe was met by the USS Enterprise, which eventually determined the alien craft was merely returning to Earth to transmit the data it had gathered over the course of its journey. The eugenics war started during the 1990s when a group of genetically engineered supermen attempted to take power over the rest of humanity. At one point, these selectively bred humans controlled 40 nations. The most powerful was Khan Noonien Singh, who ruled almost 1/4 of Earth. Due in part to these supermen fighting amongst themselves, terrible wars broke out and entire populations were destroyed. It seemed as if Earth was on the brink of a new dark age, but in 1996, the supermen were overthrown and peace was restored. Khan was able to escape into space with a group of his followers aboard the sleeper ship SS Botany Bay. Occurring in the mid-21st century, World War III involved the use of nuclear weapons and devastated a large portion of the Earth. Over 600 million lives were lost over the course of the conflict. Much of the planet reverted to a barbaric state in the post-atomic horror. Although records of the times are incomplete, it is known the legal system paid no attention to individual rights and even banned the right to legal counsel. Warp drive is the means by which Federation starships achieve faster-than-light speeds using the controlled annihilation of matter and antimatter. This technology was invented by Zefram Cochrane in 2061 during the Earth's slow climb out of the destruction left in the wake of World War III. Aided by engineer Lily Sloan, Dr. Cochrane created his spaceship, the Phoenix, in an abandoned missile complex in central Montana. The use of the warp engines on the Phoenix was detected by a nearby Vulcan scout ship and resulted in the first contact with an alien civilization. In 2156, because of a dispute over territory, the Romulan Star Empire and Earth fought a war in space using primitive nuclear weapons. This conflict lasted until 2160, when a peace treaty was negotiated over subspace radio. The treaty led to the creation of the Romulan Neutral Zone, which was approximately 1 light-year in width. It was agreed that if either side entered the neutral zone, it would constitute an act of war. The United Federation of Planets was formed in 2161 to act as an interstellar alliance of planetary governments. The Federation oversees a number of activities that include exploration, diplomatic matters, scientific advancement, and trade between member planets. The Federation is governed by the Federation Council, which meets on Earth in San Francisco. As of 2373, the United Federation of Planets had 150 members, spread out over 8,000 light years. In 2218, the Federation had a disastrous first contact with the Klingon Empire. It led to decades of distrust and violence between the two governments. Tensions reached a peak in 2267, when Klingons issued an ultimatum that all Federation personnel should leave any disputed territories. Unknown to either side, one of the disputed areas contained the planet Organia, which held a highly advanced race of non-corporeal life forms. These life forms imposed the Organian peace treaty on both sides, making armed conflict impossible between the Klingon Empire and the Federation. Duotronics was a leap forward in computer technology invented by Dr. Richard Daystrom in 2243 when he was only 24 years of age. This advancement won Dr. Daystrom a Nobel Prize and became the basis for all Federation starship computers. Daystrom attempted an even more advanced computer technology known as multitronics, but it ended in failure. After 80 years of service, duotronics were replaced by the more advanced isolinear chips that are used in today's starships. The explosion of Praxis in 2293, a key energy resource to the Klingon Empire, caused the Empire to realize it could no longer afford to maintain a huge military force. Led by Chancellor Gorkon, the Klingon High Council launched a peace initiative in an attempt to end many years of hostility with the United Federation of Planets. Unfortunately, Gorkon was assassinated, but his daughter was able to continue his work, which was successfully concluded in a peace treaty known as the Khitomer Accords. The Q are a race which exhibit godlike powers and near omnipotence, yet they seem nearly childlike in their playfulness and impatience. First contact was made with Q in 2364 by the starship USS Enterprise D during its first mission. The entity Q held a mock trial in which he charged that the Enterprise bridge crew was grievously savage and should not venture into space. Since that time, the Q have made several more appearances on Federation starships. The first contact with the cybernetic race known as the Borg occurred in 2365, when a member of the Q Continuum instantly transported the USS Enterprise D to System J-25, over 7,000 light-years beyond Federation borders. They encountered a huge Borg spacecraft that attempted to assimilate the Enterprise and its crew. The Borg forces were so overwhelming that the captain of the Enterprise was forced to ask Q to save his ship by returning it to Federation space. Located only 7.8 light-years from Earth, Wolf 359 was the site of a tremendous battle between Federation forces and a Borg Cube starship. The outcome was disastrous, with the loss of 39 Federation starships and 11,000 lives. The Borg ship was finally defeated when the crew of the USS Enterprise D was able to implant a command into the Borg collective that caused the ship to self-destruct. Launched in 2371 and featuring a bio-neural network computer system, the USS Voyager is the most advanced Federation starship ever built. Unfortunately, Voyager was lost in the Badlands and assumed destroyed soon after launch. In 2374, Starfleet received word that Voyager had been transported to the Delta Quadrant by an entity known as the Caretaker. Efforts are currently underway to bring Voyager and her crew home. In 2372, Tom Paris, helmsman of the USS Voyager, was the first human pilot to break the transwarp threshold and achieve warp 10 velocity. Unfortunately, it was discovered that the experience has adverse effects on living beings. Paris's transwarp flight caused his cellular DNA to accelerate the evolutionary process, and he mutated into an amphibious creature. Voyager's emergency medical hologram was able to reverse the mutation and return Paris to his normal state. Because of an alliance made between the USS Voyager and the Borg, a female drone, known as 7 of 9, aided Voyager in the creation of a weapon that would destroy an invasion force of species 8472. During a violent encounter with species 8472, 7 of 9's cube was destroyed along with its crew, leaving her stranded on board Voyager. 7 of 9 was at first resistant to returning to human society, but she is making the difficult transition with the aid of the crew of Voyager. The Big Bang. Black hole. The Drake equation. Dwarf stars. The galaxy. Giant stars. Light year. The Milky Way galaxy. Specify deck desired. Deck 4, hazard ops.
Excuse me. May I help you?
Tuvok.
I am occupied at the moment, Ensign. Excuse me. Vulcans do not make small talk.
Tuvok.
May I help you?
Alexander Monroe. Security access required.
Brian.
Can't you see I'm working?
Brian.
Sorry, I'm kind of busy here. Hey, Monroe.
Security access required. Security access required. Security access required. Security access required. Warning. Holodeck malfunction. Safety locks offline.
Hey.
Warning. Holodeck malfunction. Safety locks offline. Begin. Excellent.
Surrender!
Weakling.
Specify deck desired. Deck 9, computer core.
Hey.
Sorry, I don't have time for chit-chat.
Hey.
What?
Hello.
I hope we're doing the right thing. Yes, Monroe? Watch it.
Excuse me. Great. Austin. Hey, sorry, I'm kind of busy.
Hello.
Crewman. Hey, Alex.
Can I help you?
Austin. Alex.
Hi.
Crewman.
Can I help you?
Access codes granted.
Hey.
Yeah?
Hey.
Sorry, I don't have time for chit-chat. Hi.
Specify deck desired. Deck 2, Mess Hall. The quarters of Neelix. The quarters of Alfarian hair pasta. The quarters of Ensign Harry Kim. Prune Juice. The quarters of Ensign Harry Kim.
Hi.
Quarters of Ensign Alexander Monroe. Specify deck desired. Deck 4. Crewman Tom Odell. Crewman Perfecto Oviedo. Crewman Austin Chang. Crewman Ken Lathrop. Crewman Elizabeth Laird. Crewman Rick Beesman. Crewman Chell.
Jeff.
Sorry, I don't have time to talk now.
Mitch.
Hey, find me later, maybe we can talk.
Excuse me.
Can't you see I'm working?
Vandrospland, Klingon, Bloodwine.
Liz.
Yes?
Gabosti stew and vegetables. The quarters of Crewman Chell.
Hey, those Firefly things just fixed that console.
Chell.
What?
Albanian brandy. Vandrospland coffee. quarters of crewman Chell. The quarters of crewman Kendrick Beesman. Landrosblend Coffee. The quarters of crewman Kendrick Beesman. The quarters of crewman Telsia Murphy. Landrosblend Coffee. The quarters of crewman Telsia Murphy. The quarters of crewman Juliet Gerard. The quarters of crewman Juliet Gerard. The quarters of crewman Austin Chang. Coffee, black. The quarters of crewman Austin Chang. The quarters of crewman Juliet Gerard. Specify deck desired. Transporter activated. Transport successful.
Hey.
Sorry, don't have time for chit-chat.
interrupting something?
Man, Monroe, lay off!
Calm down, crewman.
Hey, don't you have a mission to go on?
Rick,
Man,
what was
Monroe,
that all
lay
about?
off!
Excuse me.
Man, Monroe, lay off!
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm kind of busy.
Crewman.
Sorry, don't have time for chit-chat.
Ensign Monroe. If you wish, you may access the astrometric and xenologic records from that console.
Seven.
You seem to have developed an unhealthy obsession with me.
Hey.
Are you purposely trying to sabotage my efficiency rating?
7.
Are you purposely trying to sabotage my efficiency rating? I have no time for frivolous pursuits. Excuse me.
Rick.
What do you want?
The Avatar is largely a mystery, but it is speculated it was a first attempt by the Vorsoth to create an ultimate warrior, or it is a unit designed as backup to the Reavers. These creatures attack using a psionic blast which causes physical damage by overloading the synapses of the brain. Vulcans, Betazoids, and other telepathic races are particularly vulnerable to this attack. Featured in the black and white serial The Adventures of Captain Proton, these insidious creatures were the creation of Dr. Chaotica. Born in Chaotica's labs of dark science, the Biohulk is a menace to Captain Proton, his trusted best friend Buster, and Constance Goodhart, his beautiful secretary. The Borg are a race of cybernetically enhanced beings who strive to achieve total physical and technological perfection by the assimilation of other races and cultures. Borg communicate with each other by a subspace network called the Collective. Intelligent and merciless, the Borg are considered by many to be the Federation's worst enemy. The initial contact with this race was almost a disaster when a hazard team inadvertently awoke these aliens from their stasis chambers. The Etherians thought they were under attack from scavengers and defended themselves. Primarily a telepathic race, the Etherians eventually managed to communicate with the hazard team and put an end to hostilities. Appearing to be a member of the crustacean family, the Harvesters were perfectly designed by the Vorsoth. Their main function is to storm a victim spacecraft and remove any equipment of value. They will also remove several crew members to add to the DNA of the Reavers. While not particularly strong, Harvesters attack in vast numbers and overwhelm their victims. This Delta Quadrant race is organized in packs that are led by a member called the Alpha. The Hirogen travel in search of prey. Status within each pride is gained by hunting victims considered worthy. Hirogen closely study their prey before attacking, believing that will prevent the hunter from becoming the hunted. This flying security robot was discovered on the Dreadnought gunship. It attacks with lasers and rockets. While not sentient, the Hunter bot has a rudimentary intelligence that makes it a difficult security measure to overcome. The Imperials come from a continuum that coexists with our own, but on a different dimensional plane. In this mirror universe, virtually everything from our universe exists, but it is opposite in nature. In the mirror universe, the Federation was named the Terran Empire and ruled the member planets with fear and brutality. Imperial females are perhaps even more cunning and tenacious in battle than their male counterparts. The USS Enterprise crew discovered the mirror universe after a transporter accident occurred during an ion storm. Several subsequent meetings have taken place with the crew of Deep Space Nine. The latest encounter with this savage universe occurred when the USS Voyager was trapped in the forge dampening field. Imperial males are violent and suspicious, almost to the point of paranoia. While females of the Klingon race are not allowed to have a seat on the High Council, they are able to attain high rank within the military. As proud and strong as the male of their species, Klingon females are not to be taken lightly. A race that holds honor above all else, the Klingons were originally a dangerous enemy to the Federation, but have since become a valuable ally. There are significant gaps in the knowledge of Klingon physiology, due in part to their belief that injured warriors should be left to die. It is known that Klingons have multiple redundancies of all major body functions, which makes them very resilient to physical damage. The Malons are a Delta Quadrant race that generate an immense amount of toxic antimatter waste. On a daily basis, they dumped 6 billion isotons of toxic antimatter into a populated region of space known as the Void. Voyager ended this practice by sealing the Malons off from access to the Void. This creature was the creation of spliced DNA stolen from the Forge's thousands of victims. Called Ultimate Warriors by the Vorsoth, these creatures are quick, strong, and cunning. These life forms attack from a distance with explosive balls of phased plasma, and at close range, they use their tritanium-enhanced claws. The Scout Bot was an automated guard robot discovered on the Dreadnought gunship. Given intelligence by the smaller and vastly more sophisticated Head Bot, the Scout Bot will attempt to incinerate its enemy with powerful lasers. 8472 is the Borg designation for a life form they attempted to assimilate in late 2373. Species 8472 proved impervious to Borg attacks into their domain, fluidic space. Species 8472 responded to the Borg incursion by launching a counterattack that seemed destined to wipe out the entire galaxy. A tentative treaty was reached with this species due to the efforts of the Voyager crew. The Warbot is a massive automated drone built by the makers of the Dreadnought gunship. Fully automated with adaptive artificial intelligence, the robot is built purely for confrontation. It is capable of tearing transparent aluminum with its powerful claws and punching holes through solid titanium with its weapons. Benia, Dedestris, Dryan 2, Earth, Hannon 4, Coal Settlement, New Earth, Ocampa, New Earth, Ocampa, Planet Hell, Rakosa 5, Theresia, the Avatar is large. The Imperials come from a continuous Specify deck desired. Deck 5, Sickbay.
Hi.
Crewman.
Sorry, don't have time for chit-chat.
Hey.
What?
Excuse me.
Can't you see I'm working?
Doctor?
Ah, Mr. Monroe. Your injuries seem to be rather superficial. Dermal regeneration will not be necessary, though you have some mild skin irritation. Perhaps you would like an analgesic cream?
Whatever. Doctor. Hey.
Later, Ensign. Can't you see I'm busy? All the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time. All the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm kind of busy here.
Hey.
Sorry, don't have time for chit-chat.
Access granted.
Hey.
What do you want?
Hi.
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 Hello.
Specify deck desired. Deck 4. Transporter activate. Transport successful. Specify deck desired. Security access required. Specify deck desired. Security access required. Deck 9, Deck 10, Deck 11, Deck 10, Shuttle Bay.
Excuse me.
Can't you see I'm working?
Tom.
Sorry, Monroe. You'll have to take a rain check for now.
Crewman.
Sorry, I don't have time for chit-chat.
Kent.
Can I help you?
Can't you see I'm working?
Shuttle Bay force field activated. Shuttle bay main doors open. Docking chains disengaged. Launching Shuttle Andromeda.
Ken.
What?
Tom.
What?
Specify deck design. Deck 4. Transporter activate. Transport successful.
Crewman.
Yeah?
Specify deck desired. Security access with deck 8, deck 9, compute deck 10, shuttle bay. Deck 11, engineering.
Crewman.
Sorry, don't have time for chit-chat.
Excuse me.
What?
Torres.
Look, Ensign, I'm kind of busy here.
Torres.
What?
Crewman.
What?
Power relays must be cut in order to decouple the dilithium matrix. Displaying power relay access code. Access granted. Power relays have been cut. Warp core shut down.
Stop that!
Hey, Monroe.
Excuse me.
Can I help you?
Specify deck desired. Security access required. Security access required. Security access required. Security access required. Deck 4. Transporter activated. Transport successful.
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm kind of busy.
Destroy that field generator. Get me out of here.
7.
Do you require assistance?
A.
Do you require assistance? Impressive.
7.
Are you purposely trying to sabotage my efficiency rating?
Move it.
Specify deck desired. Deck 2. The quarters of Ensign Alexander Monroe. Specify deck 1, bridge.
What the?
Auto-destruct sequence initiated. 10, 9, 8, 7.
That's enough.
6. Security
5,
access
We're
required.
committing treason.
3, 2,
That's it.
1. Logging off LCAR's menu system.